What's going on, guys? Chris here with another video for you all. This is going to be over the latest and greatest drop of the indicator we have. This is the rangefinder version 2.0. If you're a 1.0 user, then you notice right off the bat that there is a lot different here in the version 2.0, and that's mainly this nice colorful probability mapping zones that we have. So we'll go over this indicator. It's probably the most powerful indicator we have at RetailGoTrader.com, as well as probably one of the most easiest to use indicators, and we'll talk about why. So going into what it does, this gives you probability zones of where the price will stay or go within a set amount of time. So right now you see inside zone probabilities. So what that does is you set the amount of time. So say it's Monday, and you want to trade Friday expirations, and you want to sell premium like I do. I'm a premium seller. Let's say I want to sell a 70% trade. So on Monday, I can go in here, I can right click, format analysis techniques, and I'll set this to 4 because it's Monday and there's 4 days till expiration. So what that'll do is that'll tell you in the next 4 days, you have a 70% chance that price will stay between set amount and set amount. That's your orangish red zone. So 282.17 and 268.05. There's a 70% chance it'll stay between there. So what you can do right off the bat, you can see that and be like, all right, if I take a 70% probability trade, I can sell the 282 calls, and I can sell the 268 puts, and that'll give me roughly a 70% probability of success. So right off the bat, you can see exactly what you can, your probability of success, exactly the prices that you could sell at when you're trying to structure a spread trade like that. It works great for iron condors, verticals, iron butterflies, just about every spread trade you can do, you can use probabilities in your favor. Now let's say you want to directionally bet. You want to buy a call and hope the price goes up because you're directionally betting. Maybe you're using our pop flop indicator, which is a directional tool. So if you want to buy a call and hope the price goes up, you can always do that. And all you'll do is right click, go to format again. You'll come in here and you'll go to flip to outside true, and you'll just set that to true. Now what that's going to do is you'll notice that it just flips everything, and this is going to give us outside zone probabilities for directionally betting. So within the next 4 days, there's a 90% probability that it could go over 275.99 or go under 274.23. So you could either buy puts or you could buy calls, close to those values, and they would go in the money, whether you're directionally betting up or down. You just got to make sure you're right. That's why we don't like to buy, we like to sell premium, because there's a lot higher chance of you trading in a zone as comparative to directionally betting it goes above or below a certain price. But if you are directionally betting, this tool gives you those same 70, 80, 90% zones for your direction that you want to go. So that's how you can use it as a long trader. That's how you can use it as a short trader. We'll go back to inside zones here. All right, and then the top left, you'll notice we have a HUD. It's called the HUD heads-up display. We call it the HUD. That is stationary. No matter where you move your chart, it stays in the top left, and that gives you your IVP, which is currently 90%, and that is basically saying that over the course of the last trading year, it's coded for 252 days. Over the last trading year, SPY has been lower 90% of the time, pertaining to its IVP, or sorry, its implied volatility. So it's had only 10% higher. So over the last 252 days, implied volatility has only been 10% higher. So over the last year, it currently is very relatively high. You move into the right, you have float size. We all know why that's important. Float size is a very important metric to use when you're looking to trade any asset. You want to know how much shares are available to the market. That'll tell you, basically kind of give you an understanding of how much it can move. And then one year plus or minus max move. It's currently showing $11.50. So within a 24-hour period from close to the next open and then close again, that has done $11.50 on SPY. So within 1 day, this has moved $11.50. And it's probably, this one right here, showing on that chart, that big red candle. That's probably your $11.50 candle. So that'll give you kind of what you can expect on the underlying if you're catalyst trading, whether you're trading like news or maybe an earnings trade. You can kind of expect what that stock could potentially do based off of the last year of what it's done. And under this, it'll give you your dividend date and your dividend amount. So on the dividend date, Stock price typically drops. The value of the dividend amount is just adjusted. It doesn't actually drop, but it does adjust on the chart. So it's something you can expect, as well as if you're short premium. So say you sell a $280 call, and then the person you sold it to decides, hey, I'm going to exercise this call so I can get these shares to get this dividend of $1.32. Well, now you're responsible for the dividend value plus the shares. So you're going to owe them 100 shares at 280 plus the dividend value for each one of those 100 shares. So that's something to be aware of if you're selling premium. You need to make sure that you're aware of when the dividend date is, as well as the dividend amount, because that's going to be your max risk. Your max risk is not just the credit you take in deducted from the spread difference. It's actually the dividend amount as well if you're trading during a dividend period. So that's what the HUD can give you, just essential information that you need for planning your trades. And the last thing that this indicator will go over is setting it from true to false for your real-time calculation. So whether you want it to calculate real-time or not, just set it true to false. And all that does is, if it's set to true, it's just going to use the last price traded. So during normal market hours, it'll be constantly updating, and you'll see these values, these zones refresh to, they'll move up and down, they'll get wider, they'll get narrower. The dollar values will change, and you'll just see that constantly updating if it's set to true. If it's set to false, it will not update it at all. It'll just use whatever the last open price was for the day. So, on a Monday, it's noon, and you have that set to false, it's just going to use whatever that ticker opened up at that Monday morning. That will just allow you to, get these established values of where the probability will likely be. If you want real time, you can just set it to true and you'll have real time. So that's what this indicator can do for you. Very powerful tool for people that want to trade with math. It's always good to use math because numbers don't lie. If you're trading 80% probability trades only over the course of 100 or 1,000 trades, as you make multiple trades and probability has its, it works its way out. If you're only trading 80% probability trades, you'll win 80% of the time. And that's just what simple math tells us. If you only trade maybe 3 trades, well, you don't have time, probability doesn't have time to work out in your favor. You could hit a losing streak. But you make hundreds of trades over time, that 80% win rate is going to shine through. And that's just why I personally trade with probabilities. Using this tool, it allows you to plan your spreads, and if you're going long, you set that to outside probabilities, and now you'll be able to see where it could potentially go if you're a long trader. So I hope this video helps. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. You can find me on Twitter or shoot me an email via the Retail Algo Traders website contact form. Hope you all have a good day. Thanks for tuning in to the Retail Algo Traders YouTube channel, where we provide education, tools, and mentoring. Visit retailalgotrader.com to get custom indicators, automated strategies, and mentor sessions. Be sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you can get the latest content we create. And as always, happy trading.